Okay, so there's this major scandal in my country, and I'm really glad it exists because when I was a kid, it really annoyed me. Like, it upset me to no belief. And I'm glad that finally someone talks about it because you constantly have to go with the flow. Otherwise, you are being ostracized. So let me know if this happens in your country or if it's anything similar in your country because this is like just unbelievably annoying. So here we have in Romania this thing called mărțișor, and it's this little trinket that like it's ugly as fuck, and it's on a string that is red and white. The red string symbolizes love, and the white string symbolizes peace. And you purchase these trinkets and you give them to other people, and they're anything between $5 and they can go all the way up. I seen some that are like 50 or $60. So when you're in school, you're supposed to purchase for all of the colleagues. But what's even more annoying is that you also have to donate money to the class fund so that you are going to purchase every teacher a gift on the 1st of March, which again symbolizes the coming of spring. It's this really ridiculous holiday that is now becoming incredibly commercial. And you have to give them money. Right, you generally have to give them money, and it can be anywhere from, depending on the school you're at. If it's like a public school, it can be like $50 per kid. If it's a private school, it can be all the way up to 100. It's really ridiculous. And then it comes 8th of March, this communistic holiday where, again, it's supposed to be Mother's Day, but now it transcended into Women's Day. So when you go to school, you have to purchase gifts to all the other girls in your class because you can't just give chocolate to one because then you look like an asshole. But again, you have to give money. You have to donate for the teachers to buy them flowers or something. And it's like, I'm placing myself into the shoes of the teacher. It's like, oh God, I have to go to school and go with this like just gigantic bouquet. Like, what do you do with it? What do you do with it when you go home? Like, are you going to purchase like 10 or 20 vases in order to put all these flowers in vases, right? So it's absolutely retarded. It really is. And people are fed up with having to pay so much cash. Like I remember when I was in university and they tried to pull this shit on me. I told them I'm not going to give them. You go to the teacher and you say that these flowers are part of the class 1A minus V. Like, he didn't want to pay, and honestly, if the teacher has a problem with it, she can come talk to me. Like, I was literally that guy. I generally, like, do not understand this. If it's a person you know, and you generally want to give them something, fine. But this, like, constraint to go with the flow, it's like, no, all the class needs to put money together. All the class needs to pitch in. Right. Now, apparently at one school, one woman decided that she doesn't want to, right? And she was humiliated on WhatsApp, which is now apparently like the parents' blogosphere. And she was told by one person that it's not normal that everyone has to pay and you don't. I recommend that you move your kid into another class. It's like, I'm sorry, look, you are not being normal, okay? This whole celebration is not normal. The teachers, I can guarantee to you, do not appreciate these flowers because they know that every kid has to pitch in money to buy them. It's not like it comes from the heart. So it's like more of an obligation. And the teacher, like, what is it going to do with the flowers? Like, they can't sell them. They can't give it away to someone else because other teachers already have them. So they have to throw them in the trash. Literally, they have to throw them in the trash. And it's like, it is just unbelievable. And people are finally upset, and they're finally having a conversation about this. And I'm genuinely curious, like, is this shit happening in other Eastern European country, or am I the unlucky one? Not to mention Valentine's Day is also around this time period. So just think, put yourself in my shoes, put yourself in my wallet's shoes, and realize how foobarred my wallet is, right? It has to pay for Valentine's, it has to pay for 1st of March, has to pay for 8th of March. Heaven forbid you have a girlfriend that's born within this time period. And then there's like the Romanian equivalent of Valentine's, Dragobete, and at this point it's like, just fuck off. Just seriously. And it's just like the worst thing imaginable to a guy. Like, I know guys that were praying to get sick into this time period. Because it's horrible. And I know it's like, well, if you have a girlfriend that really loves you, you don't have to bring her gifts. It's like, motherfucker, she goes and speaks with her girlfriends, and she's going to be like, do you know what my boyfriend bought me? Oh, and my boyfriend got me this. What did your boyfriend got you? It's like, I don't want to put her in that position. It's assholic to do. So you have to buy her nice something. And even if you don't buy her something nice, she at least expects that you take her out. It's just, God. Honestly, I've been reading books with Romanian lore, and I think this comes from communism. I'm not kidding. I think the communists have brought this plague that has remained. It encroached itself into Romanian culture, and it's still here. And the mărțișor. The mărțișor is the most awful thing, because you're only supposed to wear it one day, right? It's like a Christmas tree. Like, if you come with it the next day, people are going to look weird at you. It's like, what are you doing? It's like going into someone's house during Easter and they still have a Christmas tree. Right? So it's just for one day that you're supposed to wear this trinket, and then you take it off and not put it again until the next year. Like, I generally know people that just collect all these trinkets into a bag so that next year they don't have to buy new ones, and they just give the ones that they received the first year. It's just like, oh God, it's so annoying. And what pisses me off the most is that this is a Romanian tradition that generally started with heart and compassion and care, because you're supposed to give it to the people you like. But now it turned into this commercial shite where it's like expected that you give it to other people, and it's expected that you receive it from other people. And no one is happy with it. Like, I generally speak with so many people that literally no one is happy that they have to do this purchase. Like, no one is excited that they have to do this purchase, yet people still do it because it's required. And I'm like, am I the only one who generally says no? But apparently no, there's now a badass woman that's like on my side. So she gets summoned by the school principal, and the mayor of the town is there. Mayor of the town. And they're upset that she violated the integrity of that school. Because apparently no one from the legal team of the school has said that she has to give money. It's like, well, no shit, but like, you're telling me that you didn't know the parents do this. Like, year after year after year, you didn't know. You didn't think that there is a peer pressure. You did, like, and not to mention, like, I know that maybe they're not to blame. Okay, like, the teachers are probably fed up with all these trinkets and fed up with all these flowers. Like, I get it. But don't you think there's a different way of solving things than just bringing the mayor of the town and the principal and to shame the mother even more? It's like, do you not think that there could have been a different way of handling this? Just like have a normal conversation with her rather than be antagonistic. It's not like, people have a lot of money to spend. Life here is tough, and a teacher should understand that the most. So yeah, when you have to also start throwing money for nonsense, because it's literally nonsense. The teachers don't like it, the parents don't like it. And you could have had a conversation about it, and just call all the parents and say, from now on, school policy that on 1st and 8th March we're not receiving presents. There. Simple, you fixed it, but no. We're going to pretend that they had absolutely no idea that this is happening. Year after year, they just had no idea. It's... I generally do not understand the people that move with the herd. They are like it's a generation of people that just do not want to take a stand, do not want to say enough is enough, because they're afraid. They're genuinely afraid that other parents are going to ostracize their kid, that other kids are not going to play with their child or whatever. If they're going to say, you know what, I'm not paying, I'm fed up. Plus, it's like the culture of shame. It's like they're ashamed to go in to the parents' conference and say, oh, well, I don't have money to pay. Just, motherfucker, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed. You are complicit in this, because just like you, there's probably 3 or 4 other parents that also do not have the balls, and all it takes is one person to make a stand. And this is why I decided to make the video, by the way, because there are multiple cases in life where you're in a group and they're taking a bad decision. You don't want to do it, but you do it anyway, not to piss off the group. But sometimes if you actually take a stand, you're going to find out that in that group there's other people like you that are going to raise their voices and talk. if you just have the balls to come forward and say, no,